here with our live orders. Y'all make some noise. Noise. I'm excited because today is the official launch day for the Single Live. So I'm excited because I know that God has already given me an assignment. And it ain't gonna be for long, I'll tell you right now, so y'all better get in here while you can. But God has given me an assignment to kind of really bring the kingdom together as far as relationships, whether single, whether married. This is a platform where we come together and we talk about those topics that seem to be taboo, or those topics that you feel like is gonna ruffle somebody's feathers. Ask the person. You know what I'm saying? So y'all feel free to drop your comments in the comment section. They're gonna be my help today. They're gonna help read out any comments you guys have. And they're going to discuss. And every now and again, I'm going to bring somebody up here, whoever has the kahunas to get up here and to talk. And they're going to talk. And I'm going to tell you, Brittany's going to come up here. You don't know. All right, I'm going to have them come up here, and we're just going to talk and discuss. Because before we came up here on camera, y'all, we had a real good discussion going on. Did we? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she was dropping some jewels in here. And I feel like that's some good topics. But I have them dropping questions, so every now and again, y'all will see me get up and move towards this little section in front of me to grab a few questions out, but we're going to keep it rolling, okay? So I'm excited, and please do me a favor, you guys. Take this live and share it. I don't care if you have to inbox it to somebody, share it on your page, do me that favor. This is being broadcast on YouTube Live as well, so if you guys are having a hard time, or if you're home, you want to stream it on your TV, just go to the YouTube, do the @ symbol, do Be Single Life 23. Be Single Life 23. And that will be streamed on that way, okay? Is it going up? Y'all give us 1 second. We just gonna make sure we got everybody live.
On YouTube.
Okay, go to the top. If not, we're going to, you guys, if somebody can tag me on your Facebook, just tell everybody to go over to YouTube. But it's all good.
It's all good.
Because we're going to take this and I'm going to plug it up on Facebook later, okay?
Let's
get it pumpkin.
Let's
all right.
get it.
So I'm going to kind of get started with some of the questions, and we're going to keep it going. Okay. So this first question I have, it says, do men want the role of a leader, family, business? Read this again. So this is from it says, do men want the role of a leader, family, and business? Okay. So I think that's actually pretty dope. That's a pretty good question. I know we got some men in here. So I guess kind of tossing the question out to you guys. How do y'all feel about men taking on the role as far as being a leader in business and in family? Like, how do y'all feel? What you think? Everybody?
I think men want to be in that position.
I do too.
To have both.
Okay. I feel that way too, but I feel like sometimes you have men that are apprehensive. That's true. Yeah. I feel like you have men that are apprehensive, and it could be for different reasons. One, it could be from their past, how they came up. They may not have had that example of a role model or somebody they can put in place and say, okay, this is how this is modeled out. This is how this should be. And they may feel inferior. Do y'all think women may have a role to play in that, or no, you think that's just solely on men as far as them being a leader?
Leadership is taught. I don't think that leaders can be born, but they're definitely groomed. And I think that women have, how do I say this out? We have a way about us that the man that we meet ultimately becomes the husband that we need him to be. The Bible states a man that finds a wife finds a good thing, right? But oftentimes women want the husband that finds a wife, and that's not the word of God. So I believe that husbandship is predicated upon our ability as women to be wives first.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That was I call it brick. Can you say that one more time? Well, you can, because you just dropped the whole bomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the, I guess, synopsis of it all.
It's enough.
A man's husbandship is predicated upon a woman's ability to be a wife first. It is not the requirement biblically for a man to come into a marriage being a husband. That's not the requirement. Oftentimes, us as women, we marry the boy and not even the man. He has to first enter into manhood to even be able to grasp what the requirement of him is going to be as a husband.
Yeah, we'll teach you.
That's right. Let that man get full grown before you decide to add the title of husband to the role of all the things that he has to play. And I think in Christian marriages, that's a biggie. We marry based upon mom and dad says time. We have accomplished this in our personal and professional lives, or it's just we have kids and this is just the thing to do next. But we aren't really
Lonely.
right.
Yeah.
Our loins are burning.
That's it right there.
Right.
I be having a moment.
It's real though. Desire too. God gave us, to be fulfilled. The bed of marriage is not defiled.
It ain't.
But it's the bed of marriage.
Come on.
Supposed to be, So, I'm real. I just think that a lot of times we put expectations on the opposite sex that's not fair to them. And so we enter into relationships and we enter into marriages with these preconceived notions of what it's going to look like. And when it doesn't look like the fairy tale we run.
That's right. Let me tell you something, and I had to speak something that God has been taking me through. So this last season, Adrian, she's been out of fraud to her too many times. But I'm in a season where God just really had me fasting and praying, right? So sometimes God may say, this is who I say you're going to be with. And like you said, it may not be ready or you may not know. Right. One thing God had to teach me is to take names and faces out of it. Sometimes God will put you in a season where you have to lay before him. You have to fast and you pray to get yourself together first. True. And sometimes you got to go back. And what you're saying is key. Because sometimes our expectation of coming into something like this person's not ready. Like, I can't deal with this. This can't be God. Cut it off. Like, baby, because I've been cutting people. Then sometimes, like, God just say, okay, first off, I need to work on you. Because me coming out of a marriage, 15 years, and you're coming out of it, and you're just like, my tolerance for stuff is on zero right now. Like, baby, I'm trying to deal with you, but I can't. So you got red flags. I don't care if she do some sneeze. No. But it's more so like you get yourself ready and you're like, okay, okay, God, just deal with me. Because sometimes God got to take you down to the bottom level, right, and build your patience, build your endurance. And I'm saying that because God had to take me through times and series, even now, where I have to fast and pray for my God ordained spouse, even though he's not ready or he may not be where he needs to be. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, but it literally lifted me. Because a lot of times when we go through these relationships that are very, very traumatic for us, and then we go into something that's supposed to be new, and all we give is trauma.
Right. That's hard.
Right. And listen, I've been there. Like I like you. So like this for people y'all don't a lot of y'all don't know me, but the first time I got married, I did it wrong. Right, I did it wrong. It's bad. But I was with my ex-husband on and off for like 8 years, and I found out 4 months into our marriage, we were just like, you know what, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it right for Jesus. We're not gonna have sex. We're just going to just chase after Jesus. But the problem with that was he was gay.
Wow.
Right.
So
that made it easier for him.
Right. So then I get into my new situation, right? My new relationship. And then I realized that like certain things that my ex-husband did that my new situation, my new boyfriend, man, whatever he did, and I automatically flew off the handle. And it was a whole trauma response because I'm like, I'm wounded. And you know, like I'm healed now. Thank you. Jesus.
Thank you, Lord. Yes.
But like if a guy held his cup like pinky up, right. If he washed his hands and I saw him do like this, it was if he was zesty at all, like girl, no. Zesty was
Zesty.
Yes, that's what that means. If a man talked with his hands too much, if he was soft spoken, if he was zesty, if he had an attitude over stuff like that, okay, not saying this like that, but like if he was too involved in certain things like female problems, like you know, my dude is like, oh, that's girl problems. I don't have time for that. But if he involved himself with like female drama and stuff, it was a trauma response. I cut it off. Let it go. I didn't want anything that resembled me in my head. But knowing that, because it was like from my past, like it was just bad. But I really had to take time to consecrate. I had to take time to, in between that relationship and the relationship that I'm currently in, I had a season where I did not date. I was not looking for a date. I did not entertain men. I did not entertain even the thought of, because I knew that the healing that I need was going to come just from time with me and Jesus. I did not want to put someone else through the mess that I went through just because I was messed up after that situation. Like I questioned everything and everyone. And don't go lying or me not. Like if I even felt like you were lying, like my Holy Ghost was so on fleek when it was like the whole turnout. But it was my Holy Ghost was so on fleek that if I sat down with somebody and they lied to me, the Holy Spirit was just like, hell. I took the time to spend with God so that I would not enter into the same type of situation.
I got a question.
That's good.
All right. Question, and not just for you, this is for everybody here. How many people actually, when you meet somebody, you pray up front to get this person?
Now, I didn't do it at first,
right?
But I do it now. I do it now because I know, like she was talking about past experiences. I didn't want to take that into something new, so I do that.
That's good. And real talk, I feel like God really wants to be involved in you. And a lot of this extra drama, heartache, crying, all this stuff, well, the male because men do it too, because I got 5 brothers, they can cry, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that whole side of things will be eliminated if we really submit our life to God independently. Right?
That's true.
Because honestly, I prayed this prayer, this real talk, and I ain't got it. Whatever. Well, I be praying, and I'm at the beginning like, Lord, let me know if this is happening. If not, I need you to remove it. Do what I can't do.
So, see, I love that about you because I was the exact opposite. I met my husband in church, and then I was just like, so my whole thing was, it don't mean nothing at all. But I was so like, I ain't dating nobody that I met in church. And God, I'm not going to pray to you about this fool because he won't make it real to me. Because even still, as much as we want God's choices for us, we still get to decide who it is.
Right.
So it's like, I need, like, okay, so, for instance, like, we were dating for like a year span or not even a year, and he was just like, yep, you're my wife. And I was like, okay. Really? Wow. But it wasn't like, and it was because I took the time to get to know him. And of course, I consulted God, but I had a season where I dated without any expectations either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I dated just to have fun. Like, I literally did not give guys a name.
I was like that when I.
Yeah, no, I literally didn't get guys names. Like, they had a day of the week, and it was literally like Thursday. Why are you calling me on Tuesday? This is not your day.
Come on. Yep.
I had fun, and it was fun to like guys would get upset because I hung out with a lot of guys. And I had a lot of guy friends, and it's not about like a lot of people would think, oh well, she hanging out with this guy, they got a third. She is dating.
Right.
She not having sex with nobody.
Come on now.
She is letting them take her out to lunch, dinner, brunch, lunch, and anything in between
Come on.
their time and dime. She is dating. Because after I ended my marriage, I didn't know what I liked. I just knew I liked straight men.
Right.
So,
But
Wow.
I would say this. I feel like it's defining. I want to make sure we do a defining because, like you said, you were at a point where you didn't have expectations. You really weren't seeking out for marriage. You just kind of.
I just wanted dinner.
That's she wanted to get out.
Give me single and hungry.
But I feel like people need to know what season you're in, and you need to be upfront with people from jump. And I'm saying that real talk because, like you said, you want to get out.
Right.
But I feel like if you're in a season, you know that, and this don't matter with male or female, make it very clear from the beginning. I just want to get out. Okay. Yeah. Versus, okay, this is my season right now. I'm focusing on marriage. So if I'm focusing on marriage, I'm gonna let you know straight off front, this ain't work. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I could go out with somebody first time. We ain't gotta be all the way through dinner, and I can tell you right off top if I ain't even gonna call you after it's over with, but I'm gonna let you know off the table, this is not gonna work. That's just me because I feel like I'm an upfront person. And not trying to be funny. There's no need for me to waste your time and my time. Because at this point in time, I'm in my 30s. I ain't got time. I don't want to do it.
I mean,
I don't play with your
but most people don't even look at it like that. Most dudes don't even look at it like that.
Depending on what their expectations, what their whole purpose of coming out is.
That's true. I mean, I'm one of those people where I definitely don't put a lot of stock in a date. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is just dating. Until you make it known to me that you want more, first of all, I did not get rid of my Sunday through Thursday. I'll say my Saturday through Thursday, because then you know what, my Friday guy. I didn't get rid of until he made it known, hey, I am deliberate and intentional about what I want for you. It wasn't until he made it known, cut all of that out, and that's done. That season for you was over, and he ushered in a new season. But that also let me know that he was willing to be patient with me and also lead me, because my head wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if you are doing what you're saying and just dating everybody, like you're saying, dating, not committing, do you feel like it would confuse you on what you want by having so many? I've been in that season that you're talking about, but I've been in the other one too, where I'm like, it's too many, and I don't even know where I'm at now. Where do I want to take it serious? Do I want a full relationship? Do I want marriage? So
I'm gonna say
it can be confusing.
I'm gonna say this. I'm like this, and that's why I say I feel like everybody's in different seasons, right? Different seasons, because I was in that season, but now I'm in that season, and I don't have time. My patience and tolerance, because I got so many different things I'm doing at one time. If I'm taking my time out and I'm going out, I'm gonna check my balance before I go on a date. I'm not the season I just want to date. And that's why I say I feel like that's where everybody's different, because again, you have some people like I have multiple businesses now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a single mom. So if I give you my undivided attention, what is your purpose? Because right now I'm in a season of preparing for marriage. I need to know what your mindset is before we go out, because we don't have.
So I think another way to weed out and see, a lot of people think I am a gold digger. I'm literally, I'm not. I'm not. Like, I promise you, I'm not. However, my time is so valuable. If I am taking the time away from my kids, my job, my businesses, and everything else that I have going on to spend with you, you definitely have to make it worthwhile. One of the biggest ways to weed out whether a man is serious about you is to let him know I'm the investment. So if I'm taking time away from my business or my kids, are you paying for the child care that it's going to take for me to go see you? Are you going to provide? But men, honestly, and my friends who don't have this standard, they have the worst time with it. I never had that problem because my standard was so high and it wasn't built on bitterness. A lot of women have standards that are built in the fact that, oh, I've been hurt before. My standard was, no, I'm whole, and either you're going to come this way or go ahead on and stay over there. So how I know if a guy is serious is, I need $1,000.
Whoa, no. Oh,
I'm curious.
so, from my perspective, now, I'm gonna get as a female, and I have all the great intentions in the world. But the female coming to me all fucked. I need $1,000. First thing I'm gonna think, you're a gold digger.
Yes, but listen, but it's not presented, it's not quite presented in that way, and I don't present it like I'm in need either. It is a thing of, I am now taking my time off of work to be able to spend with you, or my time away from my kids to be able to spend with you. If you want my time, I need to pay a babysitter, and I don't have it like that because I'm investing in other things. My funds is going somewhere else. But my thought pattern is this. Okay, I'm sure y'all heard it before, right? Mm-hmm. An eagle, she takes a log to the highest point that she can take it in the sky and drop it. And if that male eagle cannot catch that log mid-air, she will not mate with him. She won't have no dealings with him. She will act like he don't exist. Why? Because he has to be able to cover her number. She has to make sure that if I fall from the sky, because I fly high, you can catch me. If I'm gonna date a guy and come outside of my house, if I fall from the sky, I need to know that you're the one that can catch me. And if you can't, just say that and we can go on about our way. But I'm gonna weed out just foolishness just because I have a high number.
Trina, I got one thing. Real quick. Okay. Excellent points, right? From my perspective, being a man, I've been married 21 years, but I'm just talking about back then when I was dating. Right? A lot of times, men, if they're not right, they're gonna give you their representative early on where you're gonna think that person is. So you have to really discern, is this person really who they seem to be?
Exactly.
My comment, I just have one comment, and it's very controversial every time I say it. To me, I feel like the first few dates is for me to get to know you. I just feel like it should either be Dutch or it should be something that is not
committal.
Like it shouldn't be like waiting for you to do X, Y, Z. Like if he ain't got it or you ain't got it, let's go for a walk. Let's go for ice cream. I'm trying to see who you are, not trying to see what you can do. Because I've been on both sides of it. I've been on dates where you selling, the top restaurant. And then his character is trash. So that doesn't give me an indication of what type of man you're gonna be in my life. What type of man you're gonna be in my life is conversations, me finding out what your goals are, what your expectations are, that kind of thing. And that only comes to connection and conversation. The other stuff,
well, for me, I was gonna say I agree with most of what you said, but I'm a very competitive person. So I am more than likely attracted to competitive people. Right. So when I had my dating scene, I dated a lot of guys and I told them straight up, oh yeah, you are not the only one. I could be in the car with someone and say, oh yeah, I'm not home yet. I'll see you tomorrow. We can go to the movie. Wait, you just go do that in my face? Yes, because we're not committed. We are not committed. But for me, it was a competition. Because the moment I told 5 guys that I'm talking to the other 4, you're either gonna start the competition or you're gonna fall back. And that's exactly, and it's crazy. I joke with my husband, because that's how he became my husband. Because he went from being the guy in the back to the,
because
he's winning the race.
intentional and deliberate about his pursuit for you.
Right.
You know, like, but a lot of guys nowadays, they be like, oh, you want too much. Just say you're not him.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. So this I think my take on it is, and I feel like everybody, I can't say your take is wrong. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody has their own take on it. Me, I have a particular kind of man I need. And the particular kind of man I need, I also, that's the reason why I say I'm in a season where I'm praying and I gotta get everything aligned, because he may not have $1,000. He may have money in the savings. I don't expect you to pull $1,000 out your savings because of what you're building. That's just me. Because I got it in my savings, but I'm not gonna pull it out to you. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I got businesses. Don't pull out $1,000, don't waste it. That's just, but again, I feel like
it's not like I put it out there as just like a number, but it's more so of a mindset. Not even that I would need it from you, but I want to know that you will offer, because I think that men nowadays are selfish.
Well, I won't say that, because I feel like we're stingy.
That comes from bad experience.
You said earlier that I was like a trauma response.
Yeah.
But like I said, I can admit that. Right. But for me, it also weeded out what is a deal breaker for me. Selfishness, stinginess is a deal breaker for me.
You can find that out. So,
but I want to find out early.
So I think we're saying the same thing as far as every point. It's where you are. So like you said, it's that level that I am in that place at that time, whatever season I'm in at that moment, right. Finding out what you're willing to sacrifice or what you're willing to be vulnerable about to be with me. In my dating season, it was, yes, I actually wanted both. Can you, if I say you want to take me on a date and you say, I don't really got a lot, cool, we can go on the ice cream date, take that walk. Then the next time you ask me, I might say, ooh, I have a babysitter. My cousin said it's gonna take $50 and I don't got that today. I gotta pay X, Y, Z. Are you willing to at least say, hey, I paid that $50? Because it's telling me that if I fall, you got me. Because if I'm gonna be your helpmeet, can I trust that you can provide and protect for where I'm trying to go in my dating season? That you could do that. Because my husband came into a challenge. I was broken. I was hurt. I was going through a lot. And it was like you said, you had to be very, very patient with where I was, because I did have trauma responses with certain things. I'm like, oh, that's a trigger. I'm good. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Where there could be days that he'd be like, oh, she is tripping. Why? Hello, what's wrong? And I'm like, so I'm bothered. But he took the time to say, you know what? This is a moment where I need to be vulnerable and let her know that she's safe. Mm-hmm. And he gave me those places and those spaces to open up and come past that place and be healed, so that we can go, okay, we're good, let's go. Where I knew I'm safe, I'm protected, and he can provide, because he was willing to take those steps. What was that moment you had when you found that out, that he was that safe place for you? And I'm just saying that because, and I'm listening with you, but that's why I say I feel like everybody in different seasons. Like me, when I was first divorced, I would go out and date different people. But at this point in time, I feel like I'm intentional, but it's also, I need a man that can pray through some stuff. And if you're so wrapped around financial, monetary things, no, let's go out. Like you saying, take me out, let's go to the beach. So while we're talking, we're going to engage without any other distractions around me. I need to get to the potatoes of who you are as a person, spiritually. I mean, what's your whole outlook? Spiritually, I got kids. So you're gonna be the covering for me and my kids. Can you handle that responsibility? Where's your mindset at? Is where I'm at. So my thing is like, for you, at what point, like, where did you find that place where I'm comfortable? Like, this is that trigger point. You know what I'm saying? That point where it clicked. Honestly, it was when I could be honest. Like, I could say, hey, you've done this, and it makes me feel this way. And in order for me to be better, we got to go through these processes and these steps. And him going versus, oh, that's a lot. You do too much. She said, okay, we can do this together. We're gonna have these conversations. Be open with me. Talk to me about it. Don't close the door.
Okay, so my question would then be for you, Trey. How did you process dealing with your own hurts, your own past, your own thing that you were doing, and then being with somebody who was broken? Because that's a lot.
So
Can
before I
I
get
speak
to that piece, no.
No, you come on up here. You are.
Come on, man of God.
So I'm gonna say this with what she asked you to, but from your take and your perspective on the male side of everything that was said so far, and what was your thoughts in your place for that safe place that she did, and even for you, because I know you had coming from your past, how you felt about everything.
So let me back up.
Okay.
So this is my second marriage, right?
Mhm.
So after the first one, I went back to high school. Okay.
Transparent. You're transparent. That's good.
In order to help somebody else, you have to tell them where you think, right? So I went back to high school. It was I'm dating, I'm having a good time, I'm having fun. If something happens along the way, cool. But right now, it's out to eat, we partying, it's
No question.
sex, whatever the case may be. Let's keep it up, right? But for a man like that, I can't even say everybody. That, like it did in high school, gets old real quick. It's tiring. It takes a lot of your time unnecessarily, your finances. Okay, listen. If I got a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever like that,
And you pay $1,000
listen. I'll do all right. Okay, I got a regular job in my own business, but imagine having to pay $1,000 to 5 different people. It ain't happening.
It's time to see God.
I know you got that one friend that you can just.
Right.
I ain't gonna be able to do it. So it's a lot. But I understand when she was talking about church guys, right? But here's the thing.
What you mean church guys? Elaborate.
So right, she's talking about church guys and now dealing with church. She didn't want to deal with church guys no more. And in most cases, especially in the musician section. Let's just be honest. Okay.
These are drummers and bass players. Hello.
Keyboard players, everybody. Unfortunately,
I'm sorry. That's all.
unfortunately, the music department has a bad rep, right? But here's the other side, right? So these are not just musicians, singers, whatever the case may be. These are hurt, broken men who, in a lot of cases, hasn't had that proper leadership. In a lot of cases, may not have father figures at home. In a lot of cases, have been broken, have been damaged, and even by the father figure that was in the house, right? And so you have to keep that in account as well. And so they are leaning on what they know, right? Gift comes without repentance, right? So I'm gifted. I can play instruments, I can sing, I can write, and do all these things. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I'm broken inside. So I'm leaning on what I know in order to get by. And in that, when you approach me or I approach you, because let's keep it 100, like there are women that will come to you faster than you can get to them. Especially being in the music department. Oh, he can sing. My bad, dude. Don't don't meet me outside, bro. But seriously, like, you know, hold on, bro.
I like your regular
No, but seriously, man, like, so being in the music department, like, I mean, they come at you. So what happens is I'm broken, I'm hurt. I don't know what it means really to be a holistic man. And now I have these ladies coming at me left and right because they are attracted to the gift.
I'm gonna ask this question because it is. I had that brings to this one says, why do men hold things in? I'm saying that because this thing what you said is no different for women. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I feel like at some point in time, it's some disconnect because you do have women that are loving, nurturing, and they give. But on the other side, people, I guess men probably assume women aren't broken, they don't have coming. I'll be honest with you. It's the every day for me. I ain't trying to no horn nothing, but it's no, we'll talk. I be sending screenshots like they ain't some people off the chain. But real talk, you have men coming every day, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I don't want to say women are more so like on purpose on their endeavors. Because I can have this man hit me up. But if you have my attention or I'm saying, okay, what you got? You have my attention, what's about to happen? I have 50 men over here. But I'm focused on you. You have my undivided attention. But it's like, why men don't do that?
They do
That's
that.
not true. That's not true.
Better option.
Come on, John, talk about it.
Walk in my
That's
dog.
what it is.
They just got ADHD.
Well, I guess from a show of hands, women, what is your experience? Have you had men that seem like you give them your undivided attention, but they like not there?
Yes.
Okay, men show of hands. Have you not had that same thing?
Hello.
For sure. So I think it's on both sides. Now, to your point, probably happens more to y'all than us. I'm gonna keep it 100. You know, it's like the new shiny toy. It's like, you know, and it depends on where I am also, because I may not be in the place of marriage in that moment. I'm just having a good time. Case in point, when I came out of my first marriage, yeah, for sure. I wasn't looking married yet. My words after that moment was, oh, that's a wrap. Who getting married? Not me. We good. We chilling. I wasn't.
But were you clear?
No.
Transparency.
I wasn't. Not all the time. There were some times where I was, but most of the time it was just like, yo, I'm having a good time. It is what it is. Because they doing what they gonna do me.
Well, how you know that?
It was the brokenness. It was the hurt. I was. And I'm, you know, I ain't gonna get into the depths of them.
Don't whoop you, cry. Don't cry.
I ain't gonna do like you said your brothers did. You put them on all the time.
I feel like at some point in time, I think it's good why we have this song, because at some point in time, like you saying, like you just out there having fun. But if you weren't clear, women can tell. Like we can tell when we have a man's undivided attention and we don't. Not just for a level of communication, but even I can talk, and even if I'm talking to you and I'm talking to you, but it's not the same. Right. Yeah. It's like the conversation get cut too short. I can tell. But then you have women.
That means you wasn't it. I got bored.
But then
I like that, brother.
let's say if she left and she gone, and she going about her business with Joe Blow, and she didn't come back. That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, I was going back there. The challenge.
So question, how does that relationship succeed if you are only interested in a challenge? Because once you caught it, now what?
That part.
That's the question. I'm just saying, because that's the truth. Because I can't put on these women. Don't put on birthday girl. So a woman of her stature. So she has quality. When you see her, she's bad. Educated.
Proverbs 31.
You know what I'm saying? She's bad. She's educated. She's carrying herself with all her strengths. And still putting other stuff on her plate and being a mother. So when they walk up to her, they assuming I'm out of her league. However, if I get her, they're gonna be jealous. Johnny want it, Bobby want it, Raekwon want it, but I got it. So now that you got it, you realize, wait, she really is. Yeah, she not as easy as I thought. This is gonna take a little work. And you walk away, and then now Johnny that came over here and stepped in it. Now you back. Don't do that.
But that's the thing.
You ever sitting outside?
That
Yeah, I
happens.
can only speak from my experience. I was horrible when I was younger, but I'd be like, I'm not a rag doll. Once you put me down, that's it. Like, don't even turn to come back. Like, the door is now closed.
So to throw it back to something she said earlier, though, what if God said that was yours? God has already told you as the woman, because you're the wife, and said that shit your feelings out of it. He said
God
that
ain't
shit
gonna do me like that.
So let me tell you, and she would never. My husband, we dated when I was in college. We dated, like, that relationship was over. He was never coming back. I was not thinking about him. I always prayed when we were together, God, make him the man that I need, not just the man that I need. That Jay took 10 years to come back full circle, and just, you have to, if you're praying to God, you have to trust in his time. So whenever that is, if he is yours, he will come back and it will be undeniable.
How do I kill my flesh in that moment of he just keep coming back over here?
But how did you kill your flesh?
No, because honestly, it was. So we dated. To his phase of life. He got married. They divorced. He went to another phase. Came back. I said no. I said, I'm good. I played around and I was like, yeah, I'm busy. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I was real different. I was like, I was in my bitter. I was like, but it took a lot of prayer and just for God to say, you know what, I showed you last time. And I was like, I don't hear it. So it took a lot of prayer. But that was because I had already been told the first time we were together that was
That's
deep.
good.
So yeah,
Wow.
so when I say you come back to brokenness, you came back to a real broken, because I'm looking like God, you's a liar. Because if that's my husband, why he married her?
My God said,
So
wow.
that was your husband, but then God gave you the time that was your husband.
Nope.
So and
that was him.
And that's what it was for me. Like, yeah, that's somebody I wanted to be with. I ain't even gonna say that God told. I prayed. I didn't say that was my husband. I was just like, God, make him the man that I, whatever. We joke now because he was like, I was your husband back then. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Because you didn't have all the bells and whistles that I needed. God had to take you through a whole season, had to break you down, build you back up, add some parts. And now, so it was, how can I say it? It's almost like building a house. You would have started a house back then. I needed the mansion. So I had to wait for God to get the contractors, get the new electricians to go ahead and build you up to what I needed to move into.
he was the man, but not your husband.
Ooh.
There you go.
Detail. Come on now.
Sometimes, well, I'm gonna say, sometimes you gotta walk away. And in my mind, I'm like, God, you said, but if you change or if you shifted me somewhere else, because I feel like we still want God to give us free will. So if somebody don't align themselves to what God said, I just gotta keep it step by step. Sometimes God tell me go left, I go left. God tell me go right. And sometimes God say, I need you to stop. I need you to fast and pray for your God ordained spouse without a name or a face. Fast and pray. So I do that. And then eventually God just kind of order my steps. And he'll kind of show you, okay, I'm letting you know I'm working. Boom, drop it for you. Just keep going. that's just the season I'm in. But I know everybody is different. Like you're saying, it's a season and time for it all. But I do know the standard in which God has me living in, what the level God has me on, and I can't settle for anything or anybody less. But I think we all have to know where we are in our life, what assignment God gave us, and understand if we take any and everybody, it's going to throw it all off. It's going to throw it way off. And for me, I'm going to see the time where I want to tell people up front. I don't, my goal is not to hurt nobody's feelings or anything, but I'd rather be truthful to you so you can go to where you need to go, and I can keep in step where I go.
I think men will appreciate it.
Some
Real men.
Some
Real grown men.
Some people being they
I'm mature.
I'm gonna say some want
Yeah,
you
that's
to
good.
be
A mature man. Yeah.
Some. Real talk.
So, but on the flip side of that, right? Because we talking on the man. Let's turn the corner on the other side. Okay, it took him 10 years. He wasn't ready yet. He wasn't there. But were you? 'Cause here's the thing. While he's going through his process, so are you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's until both have gone through that cycle,
Yeah.
and it can come together and fit. That cycle has to happen on both sides. It's just not. It's not a one side. Oh, well, he ain't ready yet, so you know what I'm saying? Because I'm good. Nah, that ain't the thing. Like it's a situation where, okay, I'm not there yet. There's some healing. There's some deliverance. There's some restoration that needs to happen for me. And then on your side, there's some healing. There's some restoration. Same thing that needs to happen. There's some things that I need to learn. There's a certain maturity level. There's a different mindset that has to happen before we come together. And once you've gotten to that place, then God can bring it together. Now, does that mean you're going to be you're gonna have it all together when you come together? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That was my is I'm playing devil's advocate. Does it have to be that you have to be separated all the time? Like people who like Jen and Corey, who's been married forever. I mean, I'm sure they did a lot of growing. I feel like I know they've done a lot of growth together. Who's to say it has to be, you gotta be here and I gotta be here for God to say no? Like,
I think that's just how life happens.
I'm gonna say this. I'm kind of with you, and I feel like that kind of goes back to following God's lead, because sometimes God can say, it's time for y'all to come together because it's something I need y'all to accomplish, but be patient with this person until y'all come together. Have a certain level of I guess more patience and love and grace for that person as you go through the season, because I feel like sometimes we can prolong our season and being single longer than we should if we're not preparing ourselves the way we should. Like God said, I need this, that. Cut this person off, separate yourself from this person, but we're like, you know what? This person ain't really ready. I don't really see what I'm supposed to see in this person. It may not have been a 10-year journey, maybe, but it could have been on a fact of, am I letting God process me in the right time? Because for me, I feel like there is seasons and time with God. And if we are to do what we're supposed to, we are supposed to be at a set place at a certain time. But sometimes it may take too long, and God said, come together, because I still need you to be here. And y'all have to have that grace and time to grow together in that process. So do I feel like that? No. I feel like whatever God say, do it. You know what I'm saying? Do I feel like people jumping it too soon? Sometimes.
Yeah, I think that solely depends on like God's timing. So like you said, you just gotta be one working on yourself, and two, making sure that you're communicating with the one that created space and time and all of these things, so that you are able to discern when that moment comes, right? It could not have been a 10-year journey. It could have only been 3, but because
not my season, right? Well, my time. Come on.
So you went through 40 years unnecessarily when if you followed the directions the first time,
right?
You wouldn't have to deal with this. So,
But that's like self-choice though. Like you gotta choose sometimes. Like you gotta do the work. Both parties. I feel like I was married for 10 years before now, and I mean I see a lot of stuff on the other side of what we both could have brought to the table in order to not end up the way that. And I feel like, and in this generation, we so ready to be like, oh no, you ain't this. It's like that's cool, but these streets ain't what we think it is. Like,
Right.
I don't know
None.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Like going through that process right now, like, prayer request, like I literally had it written out. And when I wrote it out, I was married. And my husband didn't line up to none of that. We ain't together no more. But then I met the person that lined up to all of that. And I was like, boom, that's him. But he was not ready. And because he was trying to be ready when he was not ready, it damaged our relationship so bad. So while he's now trying to come back and repair all that, I'm angry. I'm like, I was ready. I had the trust. I was open. I was ready. But like they were saying, he may not have been ready. You know what I'm saying? So it couldn't have been on my time. But right now I'm just like, I'm guarded. Like, I know you said God, but are you sure? You know what I'm saying?
That's good. I know what you said, are you sure?
Right.
So here's the thing. When God comes after us and he's like, yo, I got all this for you. I'm ready for you. Whatever the case may be. But we still doing what we want to do. It's the same thing. Sometimes if you know that's what he said, don't question what he said. You have to show the same grace that God has shown you. Right?
that's hard.
I'm about to say, it's
It's
I didn't say it was easy. I didn't say it was
Like it got to the point because I literally that prayer request was like to T, and he lined up perfectly, but he was still doing his thing, and he hadn't fully separated from that. But he may have saw me what I saw in him, but now I'm like, well, like you said, I was like, and I'm gonna be like, I don't.
Did you say a name? Don't say no name.
I was like, I don't want to be that person.
Don't say no name.
I was like, I right now am struggling because I'm watching him trying to come back, and it's been like over 2 years. So I'm watching him continuously try and do and line up to what we were, but part of me is just like,
okay, so
I don't feel like it.
Have you prayed and asked God what his desire is for that?
Okay, so to be perfectly honest,
They match all the weeks.
the way things went down, I was so angry. There was a season where I stopped. I was like, I asked for this, gave it to me, and it broke. So there was a season where I was struggling with my faith, and like, you gave me everything I wanted, but
That's good.
You know, it was like, what am I doing? Thing that I prayed for that you gave me, that's what I needed. Broke me in a sense.
I'm gonna say this because I think one thing we can't forsake, if God told you something, you gotta understand the enemy is always gonna be lurking around. The enemy is gonna throw every tactic, every single thing in there. Because especially when y'all come together, the purpose is gonna happen. When y'all collide and come together, that's the whole point of that connection. God is gonna get his glory out of it. So you gotta understand the enemy is gonna come in. So a lot of times, and I have to speak for myself, a lot of times, something that happened, I'll wake up out of my sleep and the Holy Spirit tell me to start praying and pray for this particular thing. I may not understand or know, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes we may be so busy or in our feelings that we miss it. But sometimes we gotta know how to, and I'm saying still to pray, you know what I'm saying? But just to kind of give a different perspective, sometimes we gotta separate ourselves from our emotions for a minute.
And that's what I've been trying to work on, because me being so angry is like everybody else around me can see. They're like, yes, he did something. But they see his growth, they see his actions, they see it. But for me, I think I'm still stuck in like, yeah, you made me look like a whole.
Okay, so what prevented you from putting the seal on? Because everything, like I'm hearing you talk, and it, to me, like I'm translating, and I could be wrong. It's like he was giving me all these husband vibes, but I didn't allow him to be my husband.
Oh, no. I wanted him, but he was still in his nut. He was still.
I think she
not
mean it now.
separated.
You mean it now, like he's changing now,
Right,
right?
and now, okay, what's preventing you from putting the skill on it now?
She still hurt.
I'm
Still hurt.
trying to.
So then she needs to heal.
She's trying to do it. But that's what she was saying. Do you necessarily have to separate? Trying to heal with a person that doesn't is hard.
It's
hard.
And
Very hard.
I'm fumbling through this. But why are you even putting yourself in a place to be front row seat to what he has going on if you don't know if you want to be there? Like, cause honestly, like, I'm thinking like, why are you even privy to what he got going on if you don't want to be with him? Honestly, and it may sound messed up, I am accepting gifts. I feel like I want so much. If he's coming back and he's doing this and he's taking care of certain things, when I was sick and I couldn't work, and he's paying my salary and holding down certain things when I couldn't work, I'm accepting that. Because I felt like he owes you.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get out of that mindset because like somebody said, I don't know who it was, but it was like maybe you have to work on yourself too. And I'm trying to, but it's my thing is, do you not trust God? Like it goes back to trusting God. Right now, this man is being that part of your source that God should be. Like, and I understand the convenience of it all, but because it's a convenience, like you don't want to read that. This is coming from the gold digger, y'all. I'm sorry. like, do you really want to read that? That now he can be my piece of convenience because I was his piece of convenience and I want what I'm owed. Or am I just gonna say I'm gonna cut it off because I want to be blessed by God and I want to be intentional and deliberate about the gifts that I even receive? Because it was
Cause the long run, you could break him back down.
Yeah, it's a whole service.
Like, it's the American run. You literally break him back down.
Don't let your
If you
bitterness
pick up on how you might have
well,
bitterness.
he knows. I'm like, who said they were upfront? I'm very upfront. I'm like, because of how this go, I've never had to try to work through something with somebody like that. This is like entirely new to me. So I'm angry with him. I was angry with God. I'm angry with life. And I'm trying to work through it. And it's like a bumpy.
I'll step away.
I think
Like, block, delete.
Hold on.
Well, how is he to prove that he's right now?
But he can't prove that she's still good.
It's hard for me to receive it.
She got a way to reset.
Yeah, yes. You know,
That's all.
That's all. To take time, like Trina was talking about consecrating and praying. You need that time with God. You need Him to fill you back up, to restore you, so you can see. Like it is even it, because like Trina even mentioned, you said that he climbed up to the teeth. Well, I don't listen, y'all. I'm not trying to be harsh on me. I just don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But obviously he wasn't at that moment because of what happened. But we're so ready to be and what we want, and he has to be this, and we have to pause and what am I?
Right.
What am I coming to the table with? Am I gonna be treated like someone to do prayer through? Am I gonna be a prayer through? If he hurts me or I'm angry about something, can I do that for him? So oftentimes we're sitting saying what we want. What are we gonna be? You know what I'm saying?
And the other point to what she's saying, you wrote that prayer in a marriage, right? So you were hurting in that marriage. So you gotta think about it. You wrote that prayer from a bitter place. So you wrote it as a he's not. So this is what I want. So it's a chance that neither one of them, the old husband that you were with, the person that you're looking to, none of them. So that moment that we're all speaking to, which is harder to do than it is, to say, but you really have to take that moment, step to the side, give yourself a peace so that you can find out who am I today? What am I feeling right now in this moment? Now that I've come past that bitter place that I lived in for so long, to really be able to say, because I promise you, once you get to the other side, you can look at that same list and go, "Ooh, that ain't it. I definitely don't like that."
That's the way I was like,
Camera lady.
So we're gonna CJ has I
just got a couple of questions. Well, first of all, have you guys ever talked to somebody? Because it sounds like what you were telling her is just like, you know what? She says, "Hey, I'm hurt, I'm embarrassed, I'm all this stuff, you know, I can't do this." And if you're talking to somebody who's depressed, you can't just tell them just snap.
You're right.
It doesn't mean, she literally sat there and said, hey, she's been embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? She lost faith. You know, for a while, I don't know, what's going on right now. But everybody's just like, hey, do this. You know what I'm saying? But you kind of skipped over the portion where she literally said, I feel this way. You know what I mean? I'm emotional about it right now. Right? You know what I'm saying? So you have to take the time. You know what I'm saying? Give her some time as well. You know, so she can heal as well. And also, he could be ready.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. There's a couple of things, you know, so you have some things you have to work on as well. But however, if this guy's in your face, giving you all these things, it's kind of difficult. You know what I mean? Because if I'm giving you gifts, you know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to get back to life, and I'm pressing, it's gonna get way more difficult. You see what I'm saying? So this, you know, and I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but sometimes separation, you know, could, you know what I'm saying, benefit and help you out.
And be honest with him and say to him that, hey, I'm still not in a good space. I know I'm taking this or what have you, but I'm not in a good space. I realize that I'm still hurt. I'm angry. This is how you make me feel. And then you need some time. You do, like he said, you have to focus on you and your healing and your health and your journey first. Because he might not be for you, but you don't want to be taking all his gifts and things like that because you're leading him to think that, okay, he can step right in. And he is going to be the person that you want him to be and all this other stuff.
So I was gonna ask a question, you know, playing the other side of this. Is it possible that he has to be patient and wait for her to heal?
Absolutely.
I think it's possible, but doesn't she still have to say, I need to?
Absolutely.
So that he knows how to pursue it differently, or to see if he can be patient. Because if she say that, he might go, you know, I don't want to wait.
And I would even say that it would be, and I've come to learn that some people you have to physically say some things too, because it's like, hey, maybe you still ain't get it. What happened? But if this is the one that God has for me, and you've been seeking God for me, and now you're in a good place, it should be safe to say that God is showing you me. And I probably shouldn't even have to tell you I need to heal. You know what you took me through. And if your relationship is as good with God as you say it is, or as it should be, oh, I'm sorry, I got my preacher voice on. Let me bring it back. I'm sorry. But if your relationship is as good with God as you say it is and as it should be, then the Holy Spirit should be telling you she needs to heal. Now you need to go to her and you need to fix what you broke. So she can heal. Now, here's the thing. There are some people that can heal because the Holy Spirit did, but then there's some people I have to hear you say, I'm sorry. And not only say you're sorry, show me that this ain't going, you need to repent. Because one thing is saying I'm sorry, oops, my bad. But if I repent, maybe you ain't gonna have to worry about me doing that ever again.
And it's be noticeable change.
Right, exactly.
But that person also does not get to set the parameters for healing.
True.
Right. So if I say I want to see your phone, I want to see your phone. If not me.
That's a part of somebody's healing process.
You can't tell me, oh no, you want too much now. Like, no, you violated the trust, and I never want to feel like I can't trust you. And this is what it's going to take for us to rebuild that trust. Yeah. But the other part about it is, and this is like one thing I tell people a lot of times in dating and counseling, is what's the goal? As believers, heaven is still the goal. And a lot of times I run into people who are in counseling and go through relationship stuff, and it literally, like, I literally want to tell them, so like the reason why you're still single is because if you get that man, you're going to make him your God. If you get that woman, you're going to make her your God. And God is jealous. So as opposed to putting you in a situation where you're going to backside and compromise, he's making you strong enough to be able to withstand the temptation that relationships bring. Because relationships are hard.
I learned the Jesus. Sorry, go ahead. I learned the baby Jesus.
Relationships are hard. And a lot of times we as women, we give ourselves so much and we prematurely become one with someone that God doesn't
Yep.
want for us.
Yep.
So when God has to break us from that person that we become one with that he did not ordain, that's what hurts. You know? So, girl, I had to preach that to myself, like that was never what God wanted for me. And my prayer was, God, I want what you want for me. And then when he took that man, well, he just gave, so I mean, but when that man went his other way, it was like, oh, okay. Now I had to get back to one with Jesus. So like I tell everybody who's listening who is single, heaven is the goal, not marriage. We want to make it into heaven. And we want godly marriages and godly relationships that's going to lead people to Jesus. Point blank, period. That's the message.
So I'm gonna go. We have a this is from a man.
Wow.
It says, why do you expect your partner to understand what you are thinking? Men are not mind readers. Well, I'm gonna say this.
Say it.
I don't think women, I don't think women expect men to be mind readers, but caring individuals and understanding individuals. After a certain amount of time and you have expressed, talked, or said something, I don't want to say repeatedly, but to a point where you feel like this person should know you.
Right.
You feel like, okay, do you understand me or know me? Especially if, like for me, coming out of a marriage, 15 years, I shouldn't tell you that hurt my feelings if you say or do something that you done said 50 million times and I said it 50 times. After a while, you should know this. But do I have to say it every single time? Don't say that. That hurts my feelings.
I don't think that men are conscientious.
They're not all, I'm not saying they're not, but that's important for women. You have to be a thinker. And if you're thinking,
Come on.
I said they have to be attentive. I feel like if they're attentive and paying attention throughout the relationship, even from the beginning, then it will make it a little bit easier so that they might know, like, I'll give you a case in point. I was not dating, but I had a friend and he knew when I was down. Like when I would call him and let him know things were going on, he knew. So he would come by and he would drop off, hey, here's some flowers, or hey, here's your favorite candy.
No, I'm on my season. My
He's married now, he's married now, so he's no longer my friend. But just things like that matter to us as women. Like just being attentive, like you just said. I shouldn't have to keep telling you over and over and over again what bothers me, what hurts me, what you know, how I'm feeling. So just being attentive, that's important.
And I'm gonna say this too. I do feel like there's certain times where we evolve and change. Because when we are younger, our expectations of what we want may be one way. But I feel like women, we still be talking. Down the line, we still be saying stuff. Sometimes if you check out and you don't read and understand us, then you're gonna miss it. Because I feel like women speak through body language, and I'm not gonna say this. We still need to communicate. You still need to say, and I don't want to make excuses. I feel like communication is 100 because some men are not good at right. So as far as communicating, go ahead, Toya.
I just want to say we are doing a lot of generalizing. Men this, women that. When there are men that are tasting, there are men that pick up on cues. There's women that don't pick up on cues, and I think that I think that's just not fair. I just don't think it's fair. Like, I don't know, men don't. When
I'm speaking for my own experience. So I'm not generalizing for all men. Because I'm gonna give you an example for myself. I know with me, when I'm angry about something or when I felt some sort of way, I shut down. So you might be talking to me, if you're a man, you know my partner, you might be talking to me. It's going in one ear and coming out the other. And that's the issue for the man, you know, so that's, that's what I go through in reference to.
But some men, will pull it out of you. Like that.
That's
Take
right.
the time to dig through all that. But
That's
some men won't.
That's right.
I don't think we can fault them for that. I think
Absolutely.
I think you gotta know your person. And if that takes work, that takes growth, that takes explain it honestly. I mean, you're gonna have to teach.
Yeah.
And that sucks sometimes, but
and it's going back to, like everybody said, working on yourself.
Yeah.
Knowing what you need to do with your own self, knowing your triggers, knowing your areas so that you can be able to communicate with your partner. That's what I was getting ready to say. No. Sometimes I just need to sit with myself and figure out what's wrong. That's it. I don't need you to try to draw anything out because you leave me by myself for a minute. I might realize, okay, that's right.
And sometimes,
Come on, sir.
some women, like, let's not generalize.
They ain't talking about you, Rick.
Oh, absolutely not. But they be on such a roller coaster that we men, we don't have right. We're gonna let that calm down. We're gonna check it off.
And we are very emotional. We are very emotional. So I can respect men and you all for saying like, no, I'm gonna let you calm down first.
Yeah.
Before I deal with that. Because going back to what you said, once we process everything, we might be like, you took that overboard, or you're doing too much, or it wasn't that serious. Stuff like that. So.
But I think that's important to sorry, y'all. I think that it's important while it's low to have conversations about, okay, what does it look like for you?
That's right.
What does it look like for you? Like my current boyfriend, we've had that conversation. So I understand if I'm high up here, his not saying nothing is not him shutting down or not caring about what I'm saying. He wants to make sure that one, he does not disrespect me in that moment. That's really big for him. He wants to control himself. What he says, what he does in that moment is very important to him. He does not want to do anything that he cannot take back.
That's right.
So, for us to have that, our first like arguments, it made me feel like, well, dang, you don't even want to, respond or talk about what's happening. But once we talked about it, now when it happens, I know where he's going in his mind. I'm not offended. I know that he needs that time, and I know that we'll come back together.
I'm gonna say this too. I feel like there are people that are opposite. Like me, I'm completely opposite. I don't like fussing. I don't like arguing. And in fact, if a person raises their voice to me, I will shut down completely. I will wait till we're calm and I want to talk about it only because that's our family. We had Brady Bunch, meetings or whatever. So my thing is like, don't yell it, and I sometimes I had past relationships that I was in and people just yell and fuss and scream and kick and throw stuff because that's what they're used to. I should think that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Just talk to me. I can listen to what you're saying, but I feel like everybody's opposite. You have some women, I think, both sides. You have men that are like that, women like that, opposite. But we have, like you said, sit down and understand the person that you're with. Because I was dating somebody that was assuming that I was like that, and now I keep talking, but I'm not. And then you get drawn back to understand why she's not talking. You know why? Don't give me that. Cause I'm shut down. Like, I ain't doing it. I'm not running after you. I ain't doing none of that. You go, if you move it, it's just you did it on you. So, but I think really understanding the opposite person that you're with, and not assuming that stereotype. Women are like this, and men are like this. Because you may have a man that is very talkative. Like Toy was saying, he is very into what you're doing, you read the body language, it goes off of that. But you have a female that's completely opposite. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be a problem.
So do y'all know y'all love language?
Yeah.
Y'all know y'all love language? Yeah.
Have you taken your test more than once?
You changed.
That's good.
It's not changed. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's new.
But it's not bad. Like, people change, their personalities change
That's right.
every 5 to 7 years. So it's like, also in relationships, if you're not willing to grow with that person, because just like we're changing every 5 to 7 years, they are changing every 5 to 7 years too. So it's like, learning somebody else, you have to continue to learn, continue to grow with somebody. So yes,
20-some years in, how did that work every time?
Evolution.
All the prayer.
Okay.
Come to the front. No.
What about the child?
I will also say this too. Just learning yourself and also your friendships. It doesn't have to be males or females, this and that, because I've had friendships that I've been friends with people for so long that communicating with them now, they're teaching me I need to listen more, just different things like that, to where I'm not quick to speak. I'm slow to speak because I'm like, okay, I'm also considering you may not have grown up or went through the things that I went through, so my reactions might be a little bit different than your reaction. So I'm processing at the stage that I'm in now, because we talk about phases of life. That's the stage that I'm in now, is just processing and understanding more, and then I'm responding.
That's good, because I will have to say, but I'm gonna have to say the exact same thing, because I'm in a season where I'm processing. Like, that's why I say I can't be out there with everybody because too many people and too many emotions going on. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. So I'm a mind focused. Okay, what's going on? This. Give me some time to process. So I may not call you every day, and it ain't mean I'm like. I just gotta figure out. Okay, he did this. This person did that before. Is this person the same? I need to pray about it to figure out if I ain't gonna deal with you. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? But just know. But we gotta get ready to wrap it up. I want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody that came out, and y'all, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get it figured out. But I just want to thank everybody, our audience here. Y'all make me as y'all know, we have a very awesome here. Everybody here, I love everybody so much. I really appreciate the support and everybody coming out for my birthday. Tune in to the podcast. We'll be on every Wednesday at 8:00 p.m. Every Wednesday at 8:00 p.m. Join in. We're going to get whatever figured out. So YouTube and Facebook will be on, and Instagram. So y'all tune in. Thank y'all so much. Bye. Bye.